Okay guys, so we are back in the garage today, and I thought I would give you a quick 5-year review of all of my Ego battery-powered lawn equipment. That is the mower, the blower, and the weed eater. So I moved into my home about 5 years ago, and all of my equipment was getting pretty raggedy, and when I moved into this home, I kind of wanted a fresh start, and I did a lot of research, and I wasn't sure if I should go gas powered or battery. I had been watching the battery market for a while, and I just wasn't that impressed, to be honest. And the timing worked out well, and in my research, the Ego stuff popped up, and they claimed quite a bit, and I thought if it does what it says it's going to do, then I would be pretty impressed. And I decided to go ahead and invest in all of this equipment. I wanted it all to be the same brand, especially if it was battery powered, because then I could use the same chargers and interchange batteries and all that jazz. So, 5 years ago, I think I probably, if I can remember, I probably spent about $1,100 or $1,200 on all these pieces. I'm sure it's a little more than that now, but I think they're still basically selling the same basic, flagship mower and blower and weeder. I think if I remember right, I think that they actually have an upgraded mower that might cost upwards of $900. Maybe has bigger and better batteries and more cutting blades, and who knows whatever doodads they've also added to it. But I haven't used one of those, so all I can do is give you information on what I do have. So I know they're still selling this flagship model because my son just bought one of these last month. And I think it was a little around $500 maybe instead of the $400 that I paid. But it was basically the same single blade, self-propulsion mower with the same battery. So they're still selling it, and I will leave links in all the description for all of these products so you can check it out, look at the price points and the options they're offering, and all the the things that they say that it'll do. So hopefully that'll help you make a decision. What my point and hope and goal for this video is that if you're on the fence and trying to figure out and decide, do you want to go gas, do you want to go battery powered, hopefully what I've learned and what I've gone through with my equipment for the last 5 years might help, kind of push you guys off the fence and help you decide if this equipment is right for you. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so this mower, for the price point, I was pretty impressed. It actually has quite a few really nice features. So let me kind of run through the things that I like about this, kind of front to back. First of all, the battery enclosure is really nice. It's nice looking, and it holds the battery in nice, keeps it dust free. It has a nice positive lock lid that is nice. It hasn't rattled, it hasn't broken. I had this thing loaded up in the back of my lifted full-size truck, turned around, walked away, and it fell out of the truck on its lid, and I have a couple little scratches right here, but that's it. It didn't break, it didn't have any problems. Durability test, 3-foot drop on its back, that's pretty good. So the nice lid. The battery itself has a really nice positive lock. It stays in here nice. I've never had a connectivity issue with it. It just pops out. The battery itself, you can just push the lid, and it has a color indicator, green, yellow, and red. I think when it goes to yellow, you have like 10 or 15 minutes of runtime left on it or something like that. Snaps back in nice and easy. Positive close, really nice. The next kind of cool thing it has a headlight switch. You turn the headlights on and off, and there's a illuminated green light here to tell you that the headlights are on, and it's got 2 LEDs in the front. I don't really understand headlights on a lawnmower. In 40 years, I've never kind of found myself mowing in the dark. The fact that it has headlights isn't what I think is cool. What I think is cool is that they are in a normally off state, and you have to push the button to turn them on, meaning that they're not just on all the time killing the battery. I think I've seen other makes in the past that if the mower's running, the headlights are on. And yeah, they saved a few bucks not putting a switch in for you, but you're just kind of, hurting your customer with having them run headlights unnecessarily and killing the battery. So I like that they put that switch in there for that. So also when you are running the mower, you get this illumination light that's color coded as well to tell you if it turns yellow, you're getting low on battery. So really nice, very user friendly, pretty cool. The next thing that I really think is really handy about this mower is how easy it is to switch from bagging to mulching. Back in the day, I have had mowers in the past that if you wanted to mulch, you got to switch blades and put a mulching blade on it and switch back for a bagging blade. And I'm not sure if they make one like that anymore, but this one certainly doesn't do that. All you have to do is take the bag off, which is super lightweight and easy. Get that out of the way. And they give you this nice mulch plug. All you got to do is stick it in, position, and that's it. You are now ready to mulch. Really convenient. I do mulch most of the time. I would say 90% of the time. I just think it's good for the grass. It's like free nutrients that drops down onto your lawn, and it's a lot easier than bagging and filling up your garbage can with smelly, hot grass that roasts in the summertime. And I just think it's a nice, easy way to mow. So that's pretty cool. The next thing I really like is probably my favorite part of this mower, which is how it stores. I don't have a lot of room around here. My garage is fairly small for a 3-car garage. I've got lots of project cars and lots of tools and motorcycles, and I just don't have a lot of room, and I don't really have a dedicated spot for a bunch of lawn equipment. So the fact that you can fold this thing up and stow it on its back is just super, super convenient. It's one of the main reasons that I bought it. Unlike a traditional gas mower that you can't really tip it up and store it because oil will get in the wrong places and fuel will leak out, and it's just a mess. You can store this thing upside down on the ceiling if you prefer. So it's super nice, it's super convenient. You just unlock this, push these down, relock them, bring your handle down and lift it up. And I now have about a 13 or so inch footprint that I can very easily tote this thing around. It has a nice handle right here, so I can pull it around like a suitcase if I want. It's lightweight enough that I'm old and not real strong. I can lift it up and throw it in a truck if I need to. It's just very, very handy. So all I have to do is just tilt it back down, pull on the handle. They give you 3 mowing positions, which is really convenient for different height mowers, people in that way. And then you just extend it back out, snap it back on, and you're back to operating again. So this was really one of the main reasons I wanted this, was so that I could just fold it up and roll it right under my high standing height workbench, and it sits there until I'm ready to use it. So that's super cool. The next thing I really like about this is the speed control. You just have an on-off switch for speed, and then you have a radial dial here that allows you to really fine-tune how fast you want it to go. It's not low-high, it's not on-off. You can really adjust it. I'll work through low to high here. All I do is just hold this down. That's low. All the way to high. Really, really convenient. And low is really slow, and high is way too fast to mow. So it's like, when you want to move the mower from the backyard to the front yard or something like that, you can put it on high and it'll roll over the gravel or whatever you're going with. And so I mow it kind of like 2/3 of the way up usually. That's usually a pretty handy speed. But when I want to go tight circles around a small tree, I just pull it down to low for a second and I can make my tight circles and then speed it right back up. So really, really convenient and handy. The next thing that is a really nice feature of this is how quiet this thing is. It is just night and day over a traditional lawnmower. Most people walk up, they don't even know that you're mowing. It's amazing. So I can actually turn it on here. This is super nice. They have a nice safety feature on this. You just pull up this lever and hit the button, and you can see that it's just not that loud. So, I mean, if that was a gas mower in here, that would have blown us out. Plus the exhaust and fumes and smell and all that. So it's super quiet. It's super handy. It's super lightweight. It's very maneuverable. Speed control is awesome. The mulching is great. It's got a lot of great features. I think that the last really handy feature is this one-handed deck height. In the past, I've had mowers where you had to adjust each wheel independently. I've had them where there's like a truss system where you kind of do a thing with a big rod and it's kind of wonky. This thing here, you just pull this lever and it does the whole deck with one hand. It is super convenient. And I go on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I go on. So they've really worked out the user friendliness. It's really a great mower with the features, and I'm just really happy with it. It's just been a great thing. All of the features that they touted and when I bought it have all worked out. So that's the features. Okay, so this is a great mower and I love it, but it's not for everybody. And so what I want to do is kind of talk about some of the pros and cons of this. I'm going to break this down into maintenance and longevity, and battery length, and also usability. And so, first of all, maintenance. There's no maintenance. They literally, you just use it. You plug the battery into the charger. The charger is a smart tender, and it will take care of its own health. It'll take care of your battery. You just put it on and wait for the lights to turn green, and you're good to go. Literally in 5 years, I've sharpened the blades, and I've wiped it down. And in the winter, I take the batteries inside so they don't freeze. That's it. That's no maintenance. And it literally cuts just as well as it did 5 years ago. It's really quite amazing. I have saved so much money over 5 years. No runs to the gas station for fuel, no annual oil changes, spark plugs, air filters, fuel lines going out and leaking, and pole cables breaking, and throttle cables snapping or wearing. None of that is on this. They just have this dialed down into a maintenance-free setup. It's not without problems, and it's not perfect, but no mower is. They lead a hard life, so you got to expect some problems, which I will cover that I've experienced. But if you're not someone who's into doing lawnmower maintenance, this mower's for you. If you're not into someone who wants to pay someone to do your lawnmower maintenance, this mower's for you. There's a lot of people these days that they don't even know what a carburetor is, and they don't know how to do maintenance, and it's intimidating, and they just don't want to get dirty with the fuel on your hands. And if you've got to get in and clean a jet out of a carburetor because it's sat all year and the ethanol gas clogged up your fuel lines, and you don't want to deal with all that, this mower is for you. So as far as maintenance go, it's an A+ in my book. And I have enjoyed, I don't mind doing maintenance, but I have really enjoyed not having to do it. So awesome, really like that. Longevity, first of all, the mower runs just as well and cuts just as well as it did from day one. Absolutely perfect. I can't believe it still does it. It's still just like it's out of the box. Very, very pleased and happy about all that. Just have to keep it clean and take care of it, and it takes care of you. As far as longevity goes, I have had a couple problems, and I do have the two problems that I've had with it. I have a video on my channel about each of them. The first one was that I broke the handle locks for the handle risers. These little plastic nubs that are on here that kind of insert into the holes and keep it locked, they're made of plastic, which I don't agree with. I think that was a design flaw in my humble opinion. They should have been made out of aluminum or something, because they snap, and then your handle's kind of flopping all around, and it triggers the safety switch, and it makes it so you can't mow. It was a $10, they're $10 each online. I ordered them from Amazon. I put them in. I have a video about that. If you're having that problem, then that's an easy fix. But that is a wear part. I wish that would have been maybe designed a little better, but that is something that did break. The other issue that I had was I had crimped wires in the hinge of my handle because I constantly am folding and unfolding, which is designed to do. It's not like I'm, abusing it, but the more you fold it and unfold it, you get crimped wires in the elbow of your handle. And I do have a video about the day that broke last year, and I show what I did. I had to cut the wires out and solder in new pieces and put it back together again, and it's worked like a champ ever since, and it was a free fix. But honestly, most people aren't going to do that. They're either going to send it off for warranty and have downtime, or they're going to chuck it and get a new mower. So a lot of people, I've found out in the comments, a lot of people have had this problem, and it's a design flaw, kind of a corner that they cut. They could have reinforced this joint area. They didn't. Electric lawnmowers are a new thing to the market, and they're probably still working out the kinks, but that is something else longevity-wise that did break, and had to fix it. So other than that, it's been a champ. So that's maintenance and longevity. So the next thing I want to talk about is battery life. This is very important to a lot of people. And when I say this mower may not be for everybody, this is kind of the category here that's going to get you off the fence. So my math isn't everybody else's, my grass isn't everybody else's, but here's what I've got. I've got about 3,000 square feet of lawn. It's a pretty small house. It's a pretty small lot. 3,000 square feet is not that much. And I cross-cut usually, so I'll go one direction and then turn around and do the other direction. So I'm cutting all my grass twice, basically. The second run is not very laborious to the mower because it's already cut. I'm just kind of cleaning it up and adding lines. So 3,000 square feet and a light 3,000. I'm mowing roughly 5,000 square feet on the battery life. And it lasts just fine. Sometimes if it's kind of heavy or kind of wet or kind of long, the yellow light does come on toward the end telling me, hey, you're running low, buddy. So 5,000 square feet for me in my situation with the mower I've got, seems to be about my limit. So if your lawn is more than 5,000 square feet, you're probably going to run out of battery life, which means you're either going to have to buy a second battery, which is not going to be cheap. These 7.5 amp batteries are not going to be easy on the wallet, or you're going to have to plan it and stop halfway through, charge the battery for a couple hours, and then get back at it. So that's definitely something that if you're on the fence and you're not sure if you want to do this and invest in this, that's probably something that's going to be a stickler for you. So it would be for me anyway. So luckily it worked out for me. Hopefully it works out for you. So and then the last category that really you should really consider is usability. This thing is quiet, it is maneuverable, it is super easy to use, it's lightweight, it's so pleasant to run. But as soon as I got it out of the box and I ran it for the very first time, I could tell, after 40 years of mowing lawns with gas-powered mowers, this is not a gas-powered mower, okay? It just doesn't give the quality cut of a good quality, strong gas-powered mower. Now the question is, do you care? Do you need it? Are you going to use it? And how this works is, for the first 3.5, 4 years of me using this lawnmower, I didn't need it, I didn't care, and I didn't use it. My lawn when I moved into this home was pretty meager. It was thin and patchy, and there was more weeds than grass, and it wasn't lush, it wasn't healthy. It was just a real basic, average, mildly new lawn in a new subdivision, and it tore right through it. I could tell just from experience that it wasn't giving me the same quality, nice cut. And to make matters worse, I mulch, and there's a noticeable difference in the cut quality between bagging and mulching. It bags great and does great lines, and it bags and sucks up and does all that great. When you mulch, it's a little bit patchy, and it leaves some long stuff, and you just got to kind of cross cut it, which I did for 4 years with no complaints. I credit the mulching of this as one of the reasons I have a nice lawn now. So for the first 4 years, I just didn't care. That changed this year. I'm just about done with my 5th season, and after a lot of money and a lot of time and effort and babysitting in my lawn of all the lawn additives and fertilizers and hand watering and weeding, I have now finally got a really nice lawn, in part thanks to this mower. But now my grass is lush and thick and healthy, and it grows so fast that I'm literally mowing every 3 days. It's just amazing this year. It's just going gangbusters. So the problem I've got now is this mower is not keeping up. After 4 years of beauty run, this one, it just isn't cutting the grass the way I need it to. I'm not getting a quality cut. I've had to abandon mulching this season, and I'm bagging, and I can cross cut. I've even, for experiments last week when I realized I was having trouble, I triple cut the front yard, and I still have clumps of grass that are just laid down and not cut. I can go and ruffle up the grass, and it's standing up, and I've got clumps that are like this much longer than the rest of the grass, because it grows so fast and it's so lush and dainty that it isn't like strong straight up and down grass. It just grows up and is kind of soft because it's so new and grows so fast, and it's so like wet and soft and lush. The lawnmower just kind of lays the grass down and doesn't cut it. And I can stand it up and go back and forth on it, and it won't cut it. It just kind of moves it around. And I've never experienced that on any lawn mowing job I've had my entire life. And so I credit this to the fact that I'm stuck in low speed. I'm sure that if I could run this mower in high speed, it would probably do a fine job, but it never comes on because they want to save battery power. Okay, so here's kind of what I've been dealing with. And so you can kind of see this is my front yard, and it's nice and healthy and lush and happy. It's turned into a really nice yard, and where the grass cuts, it does a really nice job. It looks really good. But if you can kind of see this area right here, can you see how this is laid down? This has been like this. I mowed 3 days ago, and I triple cut this grass with the bagger on. So this is as nice a cut as I could get. All around here is all cut very nicely. But look at this spot right here. Watch this. If I stand this up, look at this. Can you guys see how long this is? How much longer it is than everything else over here too? Look at this. This grass it's so soft and lush. It's super nice, but look at how much it's standing up. And I could go all around here. Here's one, just another. It's nice, 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 nice. And then here's a tuft that just got pushed down and not cut. It's all along. And so this is kind of what I'm dealing with. I've never had a mower do this before, and I just don't think that the mower's keeping up on low speed. I'm sure I could probably take the mower apart. If I was coy, I could get in there and figure out whatever the mechanism is that's making it trigger high speed and make it stay on high speed, and I'd have probably a much better life with it, and I probably would do a great job on my lawn. But then it would just chew through my battery, and that would just cause me more problems. So unfortunately, I'm kind of running into the limitations of this mower at this point, and I'm going to have to make some hard decisions. I can finish out the year and struggle with it, but by next season, it's going to be time do I need to upgrade to like the $900 mower from Ego, or is it time for me to move on to, if I'm going to drop $900 to $1,000, is it time for me to move up to a nice, good quality gas powered mower? So battery life and usability. If you have a large lawn, may not be for you. If you've got a really thick, lush, healthy, soft, or usually damp lawn, or you have to mow it when it's long, this mower may not cut it for you. And so I'm just being honest. I love the mower, but I want to give you guys an honest review of this. And if you are in that situation, this mower may not be for you. So anyway, I think that is the situation where I'm at, and that's the mower. So let's move on. Okay, so the next piece of equipment we are going to look at is my weed eater. Right here, this beauty right here. Now, I love this thing. Now, the mower might be for you, may not be for you. I can't think of a single reason why an average homeowner would ever want anything but this weed eater. It's been really, really nice. It is really cool looking. It matches, shares the same battery plug-in, so if you had to use this in emergency battery, you could use it in the mower if you had to. It's got the same light to tell you your status of your battery, same nice positive locking system that I've never had a problem with. Snaps back in, is super nice, super easy. It's held up. I'm not nice to this thing by any means. I use it, and it is just never failed me in its connectivity and the power sources, and it's never like not worked. So been really happy with it. It's held up really well. I'm really amazed that the foam handle around the handle here doesn't show any sign of wear. Any of this kind of equipment I've ever used in my life, after a year, they tear and shred at the edges. I don't know what they made this out of, but it is still holding up like it's brand new, and it gets constantly switched around and used. If I'm edging or I'm doing this, it's just as held up. I'm really, really impressed. You can unscrew these screws. Excuse me. You can unscrew these screws and pull this handle up and down if you need to adjust where your center of balance is, but its balance is really, really nice. I did upgrade, I did the upgrade purchase option when I bought this 5 years ago, and I got the carbon fiber shaft, which is really nice and lightweight. I never really held the one that wasn't carbon fiber, but this is a really nice lightweight unit, and it really is balanced well. It's super light and super convenient to move around and handle. So one of the really nice things about it as well, it has a handle lock, a push button handle lock, so you can't accidentally, if you just hang it up or you store it or whatever, or you just pick it up, it's not going to just automatically turn on. You have to turn on with the button. And what's really nice is it has a nice variable speed trigger, so that you can, sometimes you need a low speed, sometimes you need high speed. If you're edging your driveway and you're on high speed, you don't need that. You're just going to chew through your string. Sometimes you really need that juice to get through some long grass on an edging job or a trimming job. So, and it's also very quiet and convenient, just like the mower. There's no pole stringing, there's no carb, there's no flooding, there's no problem, there's no clogging. It just runs and it's ready for use whenever you want to use it. It's super, super convenient. And it's also very quiet because there's no motor and there's no exhaust. It's just super quiet. So here's what it sounds like. And the variable speed is low to high. So that's the variable speed, and the trigger, really nice, very nice feature. Haven't had a single lick of problem with it. It's been really cool. Now, the very best part of this whole thing, and the reason I actually bought this and was drawn to this, was the self-loading string feature. Now, if you know, you know. I burned out on the dual string loading situation years ago. They were just a nightmare where you've got to try to wind two ends of the string around and get them out the holes and then get the thing back on and hope it worked out, and then you're using it and you realize it got tangled. One of the strings is missing and the other one's sticking out. You're hot and you're sweating and you're trying to get your lawn mowed, and now you got to stop, find some shade, pull the head off, take it out, rewind it. I mean, I know you guys have been through this before. Yeah, it's a nightmare, right? They figured it out here. This thing is awesome. They put this button on here, and this self-loads the string for you. That's all you got to do. So all you do is stick some string through the center holes, make an even amount sticking out, and you hold the button. So life-changing, altering advance into technology here. I don't know if there are other, I'm sure by now there's probably other companies that are copying this technology, but this is a game changer. So let me demonstrate that for you really quick. Okay, so let me grab the string. Now I would load a full string in here, but I just have now realized this is actually all I have left. I need to go buy more. I'm just about out. But you don't have to load a full string. You can put in as much or little as you want. This is super cool. All you got to do is find a little hole. Hopefully it's straight enough. Stick it in until it sticks out the other side, and then make them about the same as each other, like that, and watch this. A little more, and one more. Look at that. This thing's ready to use. That's it. And if it does clog or snip or get tangled or whatever, you just pop the little tabs, yank it off, pull the string out, put the lid back on, feed it through, and do it again. I mean, how much did you see me stress about that? Did you see me, swear in 7 languages? It's just perfect. Thank you, Ego. No longer do I dread using the weed eater. So get out there and buy one of these for sure. Highly suggest it. Now, that being said, 4 years this thing ran like a champ. For some reason, as far as longevity goes, I'm having a little bit of trouble this year with the string feeding when I'm using it. You should just be able to turn it on and then, bang it on the grass while it's running, and it should release. This little right here should release, and as it turns, it kicks out about 1.5 inches of string for you. The opposite of it clicking in, it clicks out. For some reason, sometimes it just doesn't want to release the string anymore. I can be running it and click it on the ground and it releases it, but the string doesn't come out. So I can turn around, lift it up, and go like this and pull on the strings and they pop out. I'm not sure why. Everything in there is plastic. These things wear out. I've taken it apart. I've tried to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's mildly annoying. It's not a huge deal. It does work sometimes. If I can't get it working right and get it fixed, then after 5 years, if I just need to buy a new one of these little head units and it's all brand new at that point, from here down, it's all in brand new and perfect still. So if that's the worst thing that happens, not a big deal. Happy to replace that. But that is literally the only problem I've had with it. Other than that, perfect. So that is the weed eater. Now, let's move on really quickly to my very favorite piece, which is my blower. It is a 530 CFM. I don't think there was a more powerful one available when I bought this one 5 years ago. I'm sure they have more powerful ones now. And if they do, I would pay more and I would get that. Not that I have ever needed more power. This does everything I need, but more power the better on a blower, and it's the more it can do for you. But this thing, again, convenient, easy to use, always ready. All you got to do, pop the battery in, pop the battery out. It uses the same battery as the weed eater. Since I have 2 batteries, because I bought both units, I always keep one on the charger and I just swap them out. The lawnmower battery still runs as long as the day it was new. I don't know how, but it still is. Since I use these batteries so often, They're starting to wear a little bit, but I've got 2 of them and I rotate them and I always have a full battery, so it always does what I need it to do. This unit here, of course I use it when I mow and I clean up the lawn clippings on the sidewalk and all that. And of course I use it when there's leaf pickup in the fall, but that's like 10% of what I use this for. I use this every single day in my garage. We live in kind of a dusty area, and every day I blow out the garage, I blow dust off the cars, I go out on the cars on the driveway and blow them off, I blow off the front patio furniture and the back patio furniture, and I keep everything kind of clean and dust free. Anytime I've got something that needs air, I just grab it. I just keep it in the corner of the garage, and I always have an immediate use. I don't have to plug it in. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to pull start it. I don't have to wonder if it's going to run. I don't have to wonder if it's got bad gas. I don't have to wonder if it needs a new spark plug. It's just there for you every single time you want to use it, whenever you want to use it and wherever you want to use it. And it's never failed me, and it's never had a problem. And it is absolutely one of my favorite tools. As far as features go, it also has it has a lock, or has a trigger on-off trigger. But to control the speed, you have a dial here where you can go fast to slow, and on top of that there's a turbo button. So here's what that sounds like. This is low. That's low. Up to high, and then turbo. And you can't hit the turbo button without hitting the trigger. Absolutely perfect. I love this machine. I can't say enough about it. I would go, if you don't have a blower, go out and buy this blower. I can't imagine not having this blower. The one I had before this, it was an extension cord kind, because I just got tired of the gas kind. And I have a 100-foot extension cord I'm dragging around the yard trying to use it. Never again. They mastered this. This is a work of art, one of my favorite tools, not just for doing lawn work, but in my garage, one of my favorite tools. So that's it. Love it. Couldn't say any more about it. It's perfect. So anyway, that's the blower. So that's the 5-year review of all my Ego lawn equipment. I hope I've been able to shed some light for you guys on hopefully if you're trying to make a decision, if you're on the fence on if you want to go battery powered or not, or you want to go Ego or Ryobi, or kind of where you're at on your investment process. Money is not easy to come by these days. So hopefully I've helped shed some light for you. And let me know in the comments if I have, or if you have anything to add, if you want to share your experience with all of us about your Ego journey, or maybe it worked out for you, maybe you had a failure. We'd all like to hear about it, I'm sure. So please don't forget to comment about it, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.